Welcome home, Angel, and welcome to Talks with Ty, the podcast. It's your girl, Ty, and I thank you so much for checking us out. Listen, join us weekly as we discuss all things life. You heard it right, and I mean life, adult life, that is. We're going into season 3, 2024, and we're excited about everything that we have coming to you this season. Join us as we are live interacting with family, friends, guys, girls, talking about everything life brings. Make sure that you're following us on our social media outlets on TikTok at TalksWitTy the podcast, Facebook at TalksWitTy, and Instagram at TalksWitTy_. I look forward to seeing you. Come on in the room and let's talk about it. It's your girl, Ty. I'll catch you in the next episode. Welcome. Hey, Angel. Hey, girl. How you doing? What took you so long to get here? Anyway, I'm happy that you came back. It's your girl, Ty, aka Talks with Ty the podcast, and I appreciate you clicking on this video. If you haven't, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Also, I need you to do me one quick favor. Go on over to Spotify and iTunes, okay? Podcasts, that is. Type in TalksWitTy and hit that follow button. That way, if you miss me here on YouTube, you're able to catch me while you're riding to work or just you need a minute to decompress. Come on in the room, girl. Let's talk about it. It's your girl, Ty. I'm so happy you came back. Now stay tuned for the episode. Hit that like and share button. I'll see you in a sec.
Respect me. Call it just like I see. You gotta respect me. If you want to be with me, you gotta respect me. Anytime see me, she better respect me. It's gonna be what it's gonna be, cause you're gonna respect me. Bring it on or let it be. You don't wanna test me. Pay my dues off in these streets. Respect me. Act a fool out in these streets, cause they gonna respect me. You best to R-E-S-P-E, respect me. R-E-S-P-E, respect me. R-E-S-P-E, respect me. Respect me. Call it just like I see. You gotta respect me. If you want to be with me, you gotta respect me. Anytime see me, she better respect me. It's gonna be what it's gonna be, cause you're gonna respect me. Bring it on or let it be. You don't wanna test me. Pay my dues off in these streets. Respect me. Act a fool out in these streets, cause they gonna respect me. You best to R-E-S-P-E, respect me. R-E-S-P-E, respect me. R-E-S-P-E, respect me.
You heard Kai. What it do? What it do? What it do? What it do? Welcome back, y'all. Y'all already know what it is. I know y'all missed me. I wasn't here yesterday. Listen, be nice, okay? Be nice. Let me get this. I feel like this camera got too much overhead. I feel like that's better. I don't like having a whole lot of overhead. I don't like not being centered on the screen. All right, y'all see I got my hat on a damn thuggin'. All right, we took the wig off. I think we took the wig off the other day. You already know what it is. Welcome back to Talks with Ty, the podcast. And you are tuned in to another episode of Talks with Ty Tuesdays. It's me, your girl Ty, and I am so happy that you came back. Today is August the 20th of 2024. Okay, and we are in the building. All right, with another episode. I'm happy to be here. Welcome home, Angel. If this is your first time joining us, what took you so long to get here? Okay, don't be weird. Go ahead on over, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, hit that follow, like, share, and drop us a comment if you want to get interactive. We talk back, baby. Let's get this show started. Let's go ahead and get into Ty's Jewel of the Day. Ty's Jewel of the Day for today I'm sorry, y'all. Give me 1 second. It's looking kind of weird. Okay. Size jewel of the day for today. You have come a very long way. You have survived what you thought was impossible and continue to persevere. You have made it through and will continue to keep pushing through. You have triumphed over doubt and many challenges. Today, see your successes. Take a moment to celebrate all the amazing things you have manifested in your life. You did that. And you deserve it all. No matter what, keep growing through. That was Ty's Jewel of the Day for today, August the 20th. Y'all, it's almost the end of August. The year is going by, okay? The year is going by in a very crazy and ridiculous way. Time is waiting for nobody. I say it all the time, like, you don't be knowing how many summers you have left, how many Saturdays, how many whatever. Like, time is of the essence. Okay, it's very, 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 very valuable. So be mindful of who you share your time with. Y'all don't know what's going on with my mic tonight. It's like it don't like me a little bit. Can y'all hear me good? Put some ones in the chat. Let me know who in here. Without further ado, let's get this show started. Let me see your hands. Wave them at them bitches hanging on you with their plans. Girl, you got it. Let them know that everything big. And everything big. On time. Wave them at them and on you with their friends. Girl, you got it. Let them know that everything big. Head done, everything big. Tonight, let's get into the show. I'm not gonna hold y'all long, all right? I was tired last night, but we are saying the word consistency. There's no excuse because I should have got my honey parts up here, even if it was for 2 seconds. So I apologize, okay? But we're going to talk about what we were going to talk about last night. Some of you all may like this, some of you all may not, okay? But I know somebody out there need to hear it. Ready? Here you go. Bam! Okay? Desperation destroys discernment. Say it one more time. Okay. I said desperation destroys discernment. Being desperate destroys discernment. Being in a rush, wanting things when it's not your time to have them, will destroy the very blessing of discernment that God has given you. The emotion of desperation is very, very, very strong. And sometimes it will cause you to overlook things that you should not overlook, i.e., you've been single for a really long time. And you meet somebody and they present persistent and consistent and regular red flags, not yellow, red. But this person shows you attention, they give you their time, their energy, and low key, you're desperate. You don't want to be alone anymore. You're waiting for your person. And so you will go along with things that you have absolutely no business going along with. Okay? Being desperate. All right. Am I on? Okay. I just had to make sure I was on the right channel on Instagram. I'm sorry. I have a lot of channels. So when you're doing a lot, you got to make sure that you coinciding with what you're supposed to be coinciding with. Listen, y'all, desperation destroys discernment. Look, not everybody has a spirit of discernment. Let's talk about discernment for a second. Let's look up the definition. Because y'all know I be liking to use okay, let's talk about discernment and what discernment means, because not everybody has it. You need a little bit of common sense, just the teeny tot, like just the dot. Okay, in order to have some level of discernment, in my opinion. Y'all know this is my show now, so I only talk about stuff from my perspective. There's no right or wrong way. This is just my perspective. That's why we call it the Talks with Ty podcast, because you're talking to me. But moving on, okay? Discernment. A wise, okay, a wise way of judging between. Wise. We all can judge things, but are you doing it from a place of wisdom? And I think that's the difference between discernment and choice or choosing, because we all have a choice. Discernment is when you're making the choice from a place of wisdom, okay? A wise way of judging between. The noun discernment describes a wise way of judging between things or a particular, what's it say? Or a particular perceptive way of seeing things. I'm sorry, I lost my placement. If you can understand something that's somewhat hidden or obscure, if you figure out the themes of a confusing movie, for example, you're using discernment. So, kind of being able to see the things in which are not there, you kind of can read in between the lines, kind of like a vibe check. You're using your wisdom to come up with your choice. This doesn't feel right. It doesn't look right. This probably isn't right. So let me use my level of discernment, what I'm feeling, and remove myself from the situation, right? So that's what like discernment means, okay? You can see it doesn't look right, it doesn't feel right, and then you like, what's the worst that can happen? I'm gonna go with it. You know, that's just making a choice, right? Not a wise choice, but it's still making a choice, okay? So using discernment, and what I want to talk about tonight is the ability or inability to use discernment when you are in situations. Desperation destroys discernment. When you want something really, 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 really bad, let's talk about desperation. Let's look that up too. Okay, because y'all know me. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me give y'all the meaning to both words because I don't want to make nothing up. Okay, desperation definition. A state of despair. A state of despair. Typically one which results in rash or extreme behavior. Okay. The behavior of desperation, rash decision making, extreme decision making will destroy your discernment. Not sometimes, every time. This is why it's very important to be in control of your emotions. Desperation is an emotion, and it's a normal emotion. There's nothing wrong with wanting to have something so bad. There is something wrong with wanting to have something so bad and you do it even if it doesn't belong to you, even if you know you're not in a position to do it, even when you know your spirit have already told you it's not your time to do it, but you're going to do it anyway. You're that desperate that you want that thing, whatever it may be, whomever it may be, whatever it may be, you are determined. You want it so bad that you will go to the highest extremes to get it. And your discernment will go out the window because normally when you are in a space of having extreme emotions or behaving in an extreme manner, you are not using wisdom. And we all know that discernment is a wise way of choosing. So you got to pick one. At some point in your growth, at some point as you grow through, as you are on your journey, as you're pushing forward, you have to pick one, desperation or discernment. You can't have both because one is going to outweigh the other. I'm so in that season of that. There's so many things that I want to do, like extremely, like I want to do these things. but I know it's not time. My has already revealed to me, not yet. And it's not that I don't have a choice. I still have a choice of whether I'm going to do what it is that I am desperate to do, or am I going to use discernment and make a wise choice. Sometimes and I'm only talking about me, I don't progress because I keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Year after year, I ask myself, excuse my dogs, I ask myself, why am I here? Why I'm not where I want to be? Why am I not? And then listen, my spirit don't play. Like my ancestors, my angel, my angels do. Sometimes I think my angels might curse me out sometimes. Like for real, because I be wanting to do what I want to do. And I'm working on myself, but I'm like, when I want something, or I always have an excuse, right? I always make up something to tell myself to make me feel okay about doing what I already know I shouldn't be doing. I'm only talking about me, right? If I receive a amount of money and I know that there's something that I need to do, I'll tell myself, well, that thing can wait because I deserve to enjoy myself. And that'll be my excuse, knowing that I still have that responsibility of that thing that I have to take care of. And if I go out and I do what I want to do, right, then I come back to God on my knees saying, ooh, Triple OG, can you fly me a kite? No, 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 ma'am. No, ma'am. That's not how that works. You have to use discernment. You can't, either you're going to be desperate and you're going to do what you want to do, or you're going to start using some level of choice, some level of wisdom in your choices. That's where I'm at. And I'm learning that when I am desperate, when I am not in control of my emotions, okay, there's that phrase. I'm always talking about that, mastering being in control of your emotions, right? And when I am not, I fail. It's never a time for me when I am not in control of my emotions, I succeed. I always do something that I have to go back and clean up, something that I feel absolutely foolish about, right? Something that I know that I shouldn't have done, like something that I'm beating myself up after, like that, just being emotional, just doing what I want to do instead of using discernment. And I'm learning that when I choose to use discernment, my outcome is so much better. Yes, I have to wait on things. Yes, I cannot do what I want to do when I want to do it. I mean, I can, but when I'm choosing discernment, when I'm actively using discernment, right? I can't, because I know that it's not the wise thing to do, and I'm choosing wisdom because today I know better. I know better, and because I know better, I'm doing better. Yeah, I can't get what I want right when I want it, and I can't move a certain way, but when I get it, it sticks differently. Using discernment, my outcomes are in my favor. Like when I'm emotional, sometimes I might feel temporary satisfaction. 9 times out of 10, those emotions have me do something that I probably shouldn't have been doing, especially where I am in my walk spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally. I can't do the things that I used to do. I mean, I can, but it ain't worth the outcome, not to me. Desperation destroys discernment. You got to make a choice. You can't do both. And y'all, using discernment and practicing the use of your discernment is difficult. I'm not going to sit up here and act like that's easy. It's not. It's not, because with wisdom comes discipline and understanding what things look like. What does this choice? What is the result that this choice is going to yield? What's going to happen after this? After I make this decision, what's going to happen? I want to talk about desperation destroying discernment in reference to heartbreak
And I just don't mean heartbreak in romantic relationships. I'm talking about heartbreak in relationships, period, whether that's family, okay, career driven relationships and situations. We can talk about romantic friendships, right? Because I feel like you can be heartbroken in all these areas. You could be heartbroken if you take a heavy loss or what you may think is a loss in your career. It could cause an emotion of heartbreak. I've had that happen to me in my naval career. I had to leave before I was ready to, due to um, some circumstances that had came about, and I didn't want to do it, and I was heartbroken about it. And when we talk about heartbreak, in my words, right? Heartbreak. Heartbreak is when your emotions have to adjust unwillingly. Like, I'm not ready to let this thing go. My emotions, my heart is broken. I can't breathe. I can't, like, it feels like a Mack truck just hit me. Like, I'm not, your emotions, like, you have to let something go unwillingly. I'm not ready. Right. But I know that if I don't let this thing go, it might kill me. Right. Or not even knowing what the outcome will be if you don't let it go. But it sucks to let it go. It's an unwilling feeling of emotions when you have to deal with something. Like, I don't want to deal with this, you know? It's, you gotta adjust. You gotta adjust when you don't want to. And to me, that's heartbreak. When I look at every time I've had my heart broken, and I've had a couple of heartbreaks, quite a few. But every time that I felt that feeling, it was an amount of emotions that I had to adjust unwillingly. I wasn't ready to feel what I was feeling. I didn't want to feel what I was feeling. And sometimes I stayed longer than what I was supposed to stay because I didn't want to deal with the heartbreak. I didn't use discernment. Most of the time, when we're faced with heartbreak, it's out of our control. It's not something that we are in control of. It's the powers that be. It happens on the outside of us, but it affects us in such a way that we have to unwillingly adjust our emotions. I'm not ready to deal with this. I'm not ready. I don't want this to be happening to me right now. No, but I don't have a choice. It's happening and I can't change it. I can't stop it. So I have to deal with it. Like, that's heartbreak to me. I don't know if anybody understands or feels what I'm saying. And I have experienced this same emotion in my career. I have experienced it in my family relationships. I have experienced it in romantic relationships. I have experienced it in friendships. Like, for real, heartbreak. And so when I think about heartbreak in terms of desperation and destroying discernment, there have been times where in family situations, I've tried to, or I wanted to make a family member love me so bad, even though I knew, or at some point I started to realize they're not going to change, but I'm not going to give up. And sometimes we confuse, the ability to stay and, loving like God loves, and dealing and sticking in there no matter what. Like, I'm never going to leave you because God never leaves you. No, God never leaves us, but He does chastise us and let us know when we do wrong. And there is some level of consequence called karma. So you got to be careful with that. See, you could do what you want to do. He's all knowing, right? And so He gives us the ability to choose every time. It's up to us whether we choose that emotion, or, for example, desperation, or we use discernment. We make a wise decision knowing what we know. And most people know right from wrong. They just choose to do whatever it is that they want to do. Sometimes that's wise, sometimes it's not. And so when we choose to hang in there because we rather deal with the bull crap opposed to the heartbreak. But I promise you, most of the time, there's either healing or breakthrough on the other side of that heartbreak. That unwillingness, right? Adjusting that emotion unwillingly. Sometimes we try to hold on to things that are not meant for us to hold on to. There are seasons and they change for a reason. And that is okay. When you start working on you, I dare you. I dare you to work on you. And when you start to work on you, you will see things so differently. You will see things so differently. I can't listen. What you are attracted to while your heart is broken will disgust you when you heal. And that's facts. What you are attracted to when your heart is broken will disgust you when you start to heal. Think about it. Just use your situation. Just pick something that's going on in your life. A moment in time where you may have been hurt and you flocked to something for whatever reason out of your pain. That's why when I'm hurting, I can't date. Because I know, right, wisdom and discernment has taught me, really wisdom has taught me this. Discernment is a choice, but wisdom has taught me when I date somebody after like a breakup, or if my feelings are hurt, like if I'm just coming out of something bad and I start dealing with somebody, once I go through that journey of working on me, right, I'm not going to deal with that person. Like I'm going to be like, what was I doing? Because they may have showed me some attention or whatever, or maybe they seem totally opposite of what had hurt me, right, in my past. Like if I deal with you in my pain, it's not going to work. Like it is factual. Like what you are attracted to when you are broken will disgust you when you heal. You are two different people. The broken you and the healed you is not the same. It's just not. That's why it's important to work on you. But knowing when to choose you. We experience heartbreak for a reason. And one thing I've learned is when someone hurts me, if something or a situation should hurt me, I look at, let me take 10 steps back and replay this tape. Why is this happening? Is this me? Is this the thing or the person? And what is God trying to show me right now? Because when things are good, they're good. And when they're supposed to be there, they will. And nothing comes without trouble. Nothing comes without test and trial. Nothing. Okay. But you can feel, right, when to stay and when to go. Discernment is making the wise choice of the two. Sometimes the wise choice is to stay. So please don't get what I'm saying twisted. Sometimes the wise choice is to stay. It's to fight. It's to push and pull and tug through. Sometimes the wise choice is to hold on to that thing and don't let it go. Sometimes that is the wise choice. And sometimes the wise choice is to go. Let it go. Remove yourself. Take a step back. Get out of there. Only you know. You and God knows. And if you where you're supposed to be, God gonna let you know every time. He gonna let you know every single time. That's why it's so important to get to know you. Because when you become closer to God, you learn you. And when you spend time with yourself, you get closer to God. It's hand in hand. It's no way around that. And when people ask me, why am I content being alone? It's like, yo, man, I can't even describe the level of, it's not that I'm not bothered. I get bothered by things. I experience emotions, but just I deal with stuff differently. I'm learning me more and I'm getting closer to God. So the way that I see things is just different. It's just different, man, y'all. I'm so proud of my growth. Like, God is real. Like, God is real. I am so proud of the woman that I'm becoming. And the more that I continue to progress forward, the harder it gets. Thing don't get no easier. Anybody tell you, oh, it get easier. No, you just get smarter. You get more wiser. You become more wise through your experiences, through your actions, and you're able to apply that knowledge, which is wisdom. That's it. Wisdom, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. That's it. That's what I want. Sprinkle a little bit of money on top. I'm good. But we're not created to be alone. So that feeling of wanting my person, like what's for me. I don't want what's for nobody else. I don't want that. I done been there, done that. I don't want to do that no more. I want what's for me. So like understanding the wisdom that's attached to that when something is for you, when it's for you, it's for you. Can't nothing shake it, hold it, move it. Nobody can take it away. It's for you. Whatever God has for you is for you. You might have to wait some time to get it. You might have to learn some lessons before it comes to you, but it's for you. Once you get in alignment with him, it's going to come to you. So I only want what's for me. I don't want what's for nobody else. I don't want to be desperate out here falling into the wrong things. I'm not doing that no more. I don't feel like doing I don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like it. I don't fit.
I don't feel like doing it. I don't want to deal with anything that's not mine. It's got to be mine. It's got to belong to me. I don't want what's yours. That's yours. You can have it. I want that. I want what's mine. I want what belongs to me.
I want what belong to me, y'all. I don't want what belong to nobody else. And what as you start to learn yourself, like you start to learn your love language, right? As far as like in an intimate setting. And intimate things do not always mean sexual. All right. So I don't want to get confused with intimacy because I experience intimacy in my friendships with my best friend, with the very close friends that I have. I experience intimacy with them. Our sisterhood, our relationship, the things that we talk about, how we push one another, those are intimate moments in my life, man. Everybody's not privy to that. So that is you understand your love language and intimacy, the ability to have, for me to be comfortable enough to have an intimate moment with you. That's definitely a love language. Being able to communicate is also a really, really big love language of mine. Like, you got to be able to communicate with me even when you're mad. The tongue carries out the matters of the heart. So what you say to me and what you do to me matters. Or what you don't say, or what you don't do, it matters. I'm a huge communicator. Like that is really a love language for me. A man who can't communicate cannot lead. And a woman who can't communicate cannot follow. Men, he who findeth a wife findeth a good thing. If you cannot communicate with whomever you are dealing with, they are not able to follow you. It's this thing, this relationship stuff, as I'm hit, like it is so it's so simple. Like people will weed themselves out. It's easy. Just give them some time, right? They will weed themselves out. A man who cannot communicate, one thing if you cannot communicate with me, how can you lead me? Even when you mad, upset, angry, feeling however you feeling, you still have to be able to say, Ty, A, B, C, D. I'm waiting to listen. I'm waiting to hear because I'm a communicator. So I need that. You feel me? That's the only way I can follow you. Whether that's following you into or out of the situation. But you got to be able to tell, you got to be able to talk to me. A woman who cannot communicate cannot follow. Impossible. She can't communicate. So she doesn't have the ability to even be able to listen to you, to follow you. That's easy. I probably helped y'all out for the rest of the year with that one. That was a word right there. Look at, I know we did that. Yeah, we did that thing. I'm telling you, we did that. That was it. It's that simple. So when I look at people, right, I watch how they communicate. I watch how they communicate with their family. Whatever they got going on in their life, if we start dating, I'm watching how you communicate with your job, whatever you got going on. I'm like, I'm watching because that's going to let me know 75% of what I need to know about you. And y'all might say, Ty, some people cannot communicate. Some people don't know how to communicate. If you are an adult man, I'm dating you, you got to be grown. If I'm dating you, that means you are an adult and you're probably older than me because I like older people. Now you're either my age or older. Okay. So you should know how to communicate. And if you don't, you need to get some counseling. You don't need to be dating anybody. Okay. And you know whether or not you can communicate because you've been told. You've heard it. So a man that can't communicate can't lead, period, point blank. And a woman who can't communicate, she cannot follow you. So you're welcome. Thank me later in the comments section. Look, that's all I got today. Look, don't be so desperate that you listen. Don't let desperation trick you out of your spot. Don't do it. Don't let desperation, wanting something so bad, being super extreme in your emotions, don't let it trick you out your spot. You ain't got to prove nothing to nobody but yourself. That's it. You versus you. Don't let desperation trick you out your spot. Don't do it. Use the spirit of discernment, which discernment isn't a spirit, right? When we say spirit, we mean the wise choice. But that's just what discernment is, the ability to make a wise choice, a choice based off wisdom. Just use discernment. Just make a wise choice. You can't have both. You can, but you're going to end up in a circle, not going nowhere. Trust me, I know. Trust me, I know. You got to start using discernment. You got to start making better decisions, man. You got to. You got to do better. When you know better, you do better. Stay true to you. You feel me? You can live with that. I tell my own story. Nobody tell my story for me. I'm going to tell it. As uncomfortable sometimes as it may be, the foolish decisions that I've made, the idiotic crap I done did, I'm telling it. If you don't like it, leave me alone. Don't get in my life. You might end up on this podcast. Period. Good, bad, or indifferent. That's just what it is. I ain't gonna never use your name, though. I ain't gonna do that. But look, y'all, that's the end of the show. Thank you guys so much for rocking with me and tuning in to another episode of TalksWitTy podcast. I hope that you got something from it. I hope that a good seed was planted. I hope that I gave you something to think about. You know what I'm saying? I hope that seed, you water it and it bears you some really, really, really good fruit, man. Y'all already know what it is. Follow us on the gram at TalksWitTy_. Head on over to Instagram, follow us on the gram, and make sure you subscribe to that YouTube channel. Shout out to everybody that's watching this on playback. I love you. Thank you. All right. Shout out to you. Hit that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can know. We can get up in that algorithm. All right. It helps the channel, baby. It helps the channel. We are also on TikTok. Okay. You catch show snippets and little stuff from me. I post a little content over there on that TikTok at TalksWitTy the podcast. If you have any questions for the show, you want me to answer any questions, go ahead and get into that Ask Ty segment. All right. Send us an email at TalksWitTy@outlook.com and we will get the question, the comment, the concern into the show. You can always remain anonymous over there. Of course, I will know who you are, but the world will not. Okay. I'm officially on, I have a stand store. I didn't put the link in here, but I will do it for tomorrow's episode. Stand by for some content coming with that. We got some self-care planners in there. We have a manifestation ebook in there to help you manifest some things. Y'all want to know how I got here? That's how. Like I manifested this time that I'm experiencing right now, this peace that I have. If you've been following my journey, my whole background, my aesthetic, everything is changing. Right? I asked God, wrote it down, manifested some things, and I worked towards the goal. So in my darkest time, I birthed 2 ebooks, and it took me a couple months to do them both. But those are now available for sale. So I have those. They're on my stand store. So I'm going to make sure I put the link in for tomorrow's show. Follow me at TalksWitTy on Instagram and you'll see the post for it. You'll see the reel and all of that. I also have, some of you guys may or may not know, I'm a licensed cosmetologist. So I have some ebooks that I've been working on that are now available for purchase on how to start up your hair business, makeup artistry, the fundamentals with that. So I have quite a bit of learning material for my Touch by Ty Hair Co brand, and then just some books and literature to encourage you, self-care plan and manifestation ebook, all that type of stuff. And you could use these things every month. It's an ebook, so it's electronic, it's a digital download, and I think you'll really enjoy using the tools that I have used to get me to a better place. I am going to do an ebook on podcast, like how to start your podcast. So stay tuned for that. I'm actually working on that right now. So if you've been thinking about starting a podcast, you don't know where to start, I will be coming out with the ebook to kind of, just like a little guide to kind of get you up and started in the things that I did. And just manifesting this as well, right? So, yeah, I'm proud of myself. I'm getting things done. And next is getting the business up, finding us a space or a shop, possibly going back to school. So I'm super, super excited about what God has for me. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. As always, be blessed. And I'm happy that you came back. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace. Bye.
Human beings have one job. Self-care. Take care of yourself so that when the people you love fall, your arms will be strong.
I can't save nobody. I put my cape down, sorry. I'm gonna need some boundaries, 'cause I'm keeping my peace. I can't save nobody. I put my cape down, sorry. I'm gonna need some boundaries.